leave a message after the tone.
You've got 7 questions due. Your life is going down the tubes. What do you do when you need advice? This is where it gets good. Good night.
What am I fighting for?
So turn down the lights, pick up the phone, and leave a message for the new client. After dark.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan After Dark. I am your beloved, cherished host, Caleb Schweiss, dedicated to make this show as long as possible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm Caleb Craig.
This is Cameron.
And Zach.
And today, guys, we're not done with the book by any stretch of the imagination.
Have you even listened to any more of it?
No.
Because you said you were at the very beginning.
I thought about it. How far are you, Craig?
I finished it.
Oh, yeah, you finished it last year, though.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, didn't you? Didn't you say you finished it and we should read it?
No, I made sure that I nominated it before finishing it.
Well, how far along were you when you nominated it?
I had about 10 hours left of the book.
Oh, see, yeah.
But I could have finished it in a week regardless.
Yeah,
Because that's
true.
all
How
I
far
do.
are you in?
I'm still.
According to where he said he was, he's probably about 2 hours in.
I have 50 hours left, I think.
So yeah, 2 hours in.
Yeah.
I am on chapter 76. I have 14 hours left.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
14 fucking hours. I could probably do it by next week.
Yeah, I could do it by next week too. The I have to.
Still digging it, Cam K?
Yeah, no, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. I just,
What's that shit?
I don't know. So we'll just do a regular After Dark today, and then next week, hopefully, we'll have finished that up, and we could do that review.
Yeah.
So,
Craig has brought some interesting drinks to the table that I'm not sure how we're going to appreciate. Craig, your alcohol collection has kind of exploded here recently.
You're a fucking hipster, bro.
This is the last bit I'm gonna buy until I finish like all of them,
Okay.
which is gonna be a while.
So you bought some Outlaw Distillery coffee rum.
Yep.
Rum with coffee added, so I do have a glass of coffee at the table I'm probably going to have to sample that with. But then you also bought some Five Farms Country Cork single batch Irish cream liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
so lots of coffee, beer.
And so
That's
I'm
good.
gonna have to find out what that tastes like. It doesn't smell like, right off the bat, it doesn't smell like, what you'd expect it to smell like.
What do you expect?
I don't know, like a creamy, sweet flavor, like maybe
Bailey's
Bailey's.
almost,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I've
this
had
does
a-
not
I've-
smell like Bailey's.
I've had a cream liqueur before, and it was pretty sweet.
It almost tastes like, it almost smells like creamy feta is what it smells like.
Ugh.
You should mix that with that peach whiskey.
Take
Peaches
a whiff,
and cream,
Take a whiff
bro.
of that.
Hell yeah! I got some.
It could have
I
gone
got some
bad,
whipped
who
cream,
knows?
Too.
That could be a good
So
shot.
just like
yeah,
yeah.
no, seriously, a good
Yeah,
shot.
does it smell like creamy feta?
Kinda, yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's man, it smells like liquefied feet.
I'm fed up with this, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll try it, but
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
Let's see.
I need to sample it on its own, and then I will sample
Well,
it in the
get some
coffee.
get some booze holders.
some shot glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get them. Don't worry. So the first question I want to answer is actually an emailed question, and this one was from. It was from February 9th, so not too long ago. Only 20 days old, which is surprising because usually when we answer these, they're like years old. But this one's only 20 days. So it's from our good friend, Mr. Price. Question for the show. He says, "Hey guys, longtime listener, big fan. Got a question for After Dark. This one will take a bit of self-reflection and honesty from you guys. I would like to know the most bullshit reason you never finished a game. We already know that Joe's would be Bloodborne. Kidding, Joe. Love you, but seriously, fuck you for leaving, and I hope you make it big in Hollywood. But I'm interested to hear what everyone else's deepest, darkest, unfinished video game shame is. Love your work, guys. I'm an Aussie that stumbled onto your podcast via UFF and have listened to every After Dark episode, i.e. where the real entertainment is, and am now going back to where it all began and going through the main episode. Sounds corny, but I feel like I know you guys really well. Seem like the sort of guys I would grab a beer with, especially Caleb Craig, who is the unsung hero of Nude Clan.
Fuck yeah.
Schweiss is an asshole, but we love him and his angry, funny rants about Costco eggs, and Cam seems like an all-around good dude. Anyways, keep it real, keep it fresh, and stay nude always. Cheers, DP.
Double penetration.
Yeah, so what do we think that, what's our, like...
I mean, the game I feel the most shame about not beating for is going to be Cuphead.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
But a little more
The
shame
game
on
is a
Craig's
piece of
part.
shit. It's a piece of shit.
See, I don't have to feel that shame.
It's a piece
No,
of
you
shit.
don't.
You're a piece of shit.
Both.
The one that you guys should also be ashamed of, because there's really no reason. It's not a very hard game. The end game,
Don't even say it.
quote unquote,
Don't say it.
is supposed to be hard according to the pussies online.
Because I
but
side with Craig on this one.
I don't see how you can. But Shadow of War, I mean,
Schweiss.
it's not a hard game.
It's not.
The internet's rage
I don't
about
know.
it is because they feel they're the people who rate these things.
Schweiss.
Literally-
The rage has nothing to do with the ending. All right? The rage towards that game came purely from loot box stuff.
See,
That's it.
See, Craig-
It had nothing to do with any end game idea.
No, listen to me. You're giving in to people who have their pronouns in their profiles, who feel like they have to buy these DLCs, and no one has to buy anything. And Craig, it wasn't that hard.
It wasn't DLC.
It was. You would buy
No,
the
it's
loot
not
box.
DLC.
That
This
is,
Irish cream liqueur smells like it should go on top of an Olive Garden salad.
yeah. That is what those are. They're downloadable content that you pay
That's
extra
fucking
for.
good.
It's very creamy.
And it is a
and
loot
sweet.
box. So, you're right. It was loot boxy.
Want a sample?
But it wasn't that hard.
I love that.
And the thing is like, if you bought the loot boxes in
It
that
tastes better than
game
it smells.
before the end game, you actually were worse off than you were if you didn't. Because if you didn't, then all the guys around you are super high level, and all you had to do is convert them. And then it is kind of repetitive, but I red boxed the fucking thing, and I almost got the platinum in like 2 days.
Dude, that's pretty good.
I think I was using GameFly when I played that game.
It wasn't. See, it's not, and that's the thing that makes me upset. It's not like Cuphead where it's so hard that I'm
No,
like,
that was only like a 15-hour game. It's not too bad.
yeah. Like Cuphead though, I'm like, when Chase was like, "Oh, Bloodborne's way harder than Cuphead." No, dude. The Sekiro is no.
Okay,
Cuphead is the hardest game I've ever played.
Cuphead
Like,
isn't like
it's not fair
it's not,
either.
It's not even. That's exactly the point. Like, it's not even hard. That's the exact thing that pisses me off.
But it is
that-
so hard.
It's that the fact that it's not hard, but the fact that the RNG is literally
No,
the thing that
I
kills
just-
you
I just-
is fucking bullshit.
It was
like the
so
fact that
let's
you
just-
and
let's look at it
Cameron
this
took
way.
like 8 hours to beat the dragon because you got shitty RNG on it, and it took me like 20 minutes is fucking ridiculous.
For me, the game actually pushed to the limit of how many different objects I could track at once successfully, and it really pushed me in that.
I
in
mean,
that regard.
if you're used to playing like shoot 'em ups, which is basically what Cuphead is, it's like a platformer slash.
It's like you have to keep track
Then
of where's a
it's
safe
not
place to jump and
horrible.
land to. You have to keep track of the attacks coming in, and you have to keep. It's just, you're tracking 4 or 5 different things on the screen at once, and that's when I start to slip up and make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's like studies that have been done. Anything over 5, the human brain is just like, "Urgh." Like if you have like 6 or 7 taquitos on the plate, and you're like, how many are in there? And you'll like count them. But if it's like 5 or less, you'll just see it,
Yeah,
and then
that
you'll
coffee
say
room
it.
is on the spot.
So anything more than 5 is technically confusing to the human brain. And Cuphead, I agree. Like it's a well-made game. It's like it's not glitchy. It's not.
it runs smoothly, but the RNG of it is really fucking shitty.
Yeah, it's
like with the
it's stressful.
genie guy, like it fucking matters whether or not you get like the shitload of treasures or like the other thing that he does.
Yeah, see, it used to, but I got so good at the genie that I could do the treasures too. But the problem with the treasures is that you basically have to only attack him when you, because I used to fly around him when he did that, and I'd be able to dodge him every time. But then when I try to attack him, that's when I'd get tagged.
The other thing that pisses me off is like the parry is only for certain things and not for like all of their attacks.
Yeah, that's not really
Because like
the
they
auto
just,
parry
they just
really
throw,
comes in clutch.
They just
sometimes,
throw
though.
a shitload of stuff at you, and then you're just supposed to be like, oh well, occasionally I can use my parry / block move.
Yeah, and when you beat it, you almost, it's like out of body experience. You're like, not even you, like you are the machine, and like you're just dodging everything, and you're like, I don't know how I'm doing this, but if I think about it,
You know what? Maybe
any
I should
harder,
come
I'm not
back.
gonna be able to
Maybe
do
I
it.
should come
chosen
back
one.
and try Cuphead slightly inebriated, because that's when I do the best. That's when I'm able to like cut out the distractions along my peripherals and just
Sure.
really zone in on the game.
It's your drunk
It's
cannon.
my special sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, see, when Cameron was
Special
playing
sauce.
it last on the dragon, I was like, I'm gonna pull up the dragon, see if I can do it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it again. I'm like,
Cam,
I
how is
can't, man. This game's
how
so
is the
fucking
rum
hard.
with the coffee?
It's
with
good.
the
Like those
with the-
definitely do go together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just try it. Try
you
my
wanna
glass.
you wanna shot glass, Zach? I'm all right.
I gave him a sample. He doesn't like to day drink.
What? Why not? I mean, it's nighttime. For
It's after
some.
dark.
Oh,
It's after dark.
So it's just
I want
just
a
sample
fucking
it.
candle
Just,
of this
just
smell.
sample that on its
Twice.
own. Just
Twice.
sample that on its own.
Smell
twice.
that and then beat off to it like
Hey,
I
we're,
want
we're,
to.
we're all gay here. Just drink out of the
We're
bottle.
all gay here.
Just take a swig.
For me, like it's got to be a special occasion to do drink. I'll be honest. Like most of the time, I like to just do it at night and just.
It's
get it.
good.
When I know I can go to
It's
sleep
it's
later.
it's good. Now
Yeah.
Schweiss,
I got so much shit that I get done.
slap those lips around that bottleneck.
You know, I used to be ashamed of day drinking, and now I don't care.
I'm not ashamed.
I don't. There's a difference between having something to drink with lunch and day drinking.
That is so good.
It's good, isn't it?
The aftertaste is pretty chemically.
Yeah. I mean, it is alcohol.
I mean, yeah, it's still rum.
Nah, the rum. See, I think whiskey's better than rum.
Yeah,
I've always
I
thought
agree.
whiskey's
Really?
better.
Yeah, I love whiskey.
And see,
I'm
everyone
a rum
says
guy, man.
rum is sweet. Usually, I don't think that's very sweet.
I wouldn't say rum's very sweet.
But then
I
you
have
might
to
not
like
be
rum.
It's
having-
from an artisanal distillery.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
This is bottle 19.
Yeah,
Of batch 6.
for the most part, I think people have
Oh.
cheap rum, which is really not good.
No.
batch 16.
Like-
There's some things you can do with rum that are fantastic.
Yeah,
but,
like Malibu
but just
is,
drink right out of
is-
the bottle. Whiskey's so much easier.
Yeah, Malibu rum is tasty,
Oh, it's,
but
uh,
after like
it's
4
Utah's
shots,
own.
which is not how you're supposed to drink
You
it.
know, Outlaws
Like
Utah.
Newman's
I
Own.
think they're in Ogden.
Yeah, Outlaw Distilleries, Utah company.
I Malibu eventually starts tasting like tanning oil, and then I get disgusted.
Yeah,
It's like you with.
I mean, again, it's fucking cheap alcohol. So
Yeah.
just
it's like you with Fireball. Like
Yeah.
I got super
And
wasted.
Sambuca.
The first time I ever got super wasted, everyone went out, and I like stayed at the hotel, and I like polished off the bottle of Malibu. Dude, I was fucking just dead. Like I was gone, vomited everywhere, like totally sick.
Now I put
Ill.
about half an ounce of both inside my coffee cup. When I had about half a cup of coffee left, it's quite nice. You don't taste
Yeah?
any alcohol.
Yeah.
But again, I only have an ounce worth of it. So
So I'm gonna say if I drink rum, it's definitely Blackheart. I think Blackheart's my favorite. So Blackheart, if you're
Blackheart's
listening, you should
great.
sponsor me because I love your
Blackheart-
drink.
Blackheart is great, but I have seen someone get wasted off of it, and when they puke, it's like The Exorcist.
It's all black.
Yeah.
Ew. I don't
Nice.
care. I'll still drink it.
How many questions do we have?
We do have questions in the Discord as well.
Oh,
Let's not
nice.
forget to check that.
All right, we got some Skype though. Got to hear their beautiful voices. Hope this one's for After Dark.
Hey, New Clan. This is a work question, so I'm not going to put out my name, so this is not Chase versus Game. I got a couple of colleagues I work with at this technical company, and, well, I'm better than them at doing their job. And I'm so good, in fact, and I'm talking about using KPIs, key performance indicators, I can do twice the load that both of them can do combined. So it makes me wonder, how do I go to my manager, telling him, nicely of course, fire those two guys, and then give me half of what each person makes, You save 50%, and I am making, 6-digit figures. Please let me know about this, New Clan. What's your advice? Thanks.
All right.
I didn't really.
So they've got useless employees
Yeah.
that he can do twice the work of both of
Which
them
he
combined.
said he was doing regular work too, didn't he? So I mean, like,
Yeah, and he wants to know how he can go to his boss, convince him to fire those two, and pay him half of what each of them makes
Right.
to do 3 times the work. Really, what you have to do is be
Depending on.
and
Do we know what kind of work it is?
it's tech stuff. It's not Chase versus Game, but someone like him.
It's like Bob. Basically.
Yeah, it's Bob. It's
So it's tech
Ron.
stuff. Is it?
It's Ron.
Is it? What do they call it? Like skilled labor type stuff.
I mean, it's probably coding. I would
Okay.
imagine from him.
Yeah,
he
well,
seems like-
if it's coding or something like that, then yeah, maybe. But the industry tends to stick to have more people do the same amount of work but pay them less than one person, so that who's making a ton of money doing it. So yeah, he could say, "Hey, you'd save money on this, and I'd be making more money and be doing a better job than both of them combined." But what also could happen is they just bring on not quite as skilled laborers, but pay them much less than what they were making.
Yeah, just strength in numbers kind of a thing.
Yeah, I've seen that happen because having one employee, making a ton of money, they tend to try to get away from that. Currently, this day and age, the best way to go, up in pay is to switch jobs.
Yeah, I mean, you can always go to your boss and ask for a raise. I think
But
the
yeah.
thing is you have to go
But
in.
if you can prove that you're doing twice the amount of work they are, so this is important. If this is something you really want to do, is you prove how much work you're doing, compare it to the quality work they're doing, and then bring it to your boss in that sense. Like, this is going to be your biggest aid in this, is to have documentable proof of how much better you're doing.
Yeah, and you need to kind of be a little bit kind of disagreeable. Like, you can't go in there and then let them kind of push you around. You need to go in knowing how much you think you're
Well, it
worth.
also depends on his boss's
Right.
personality, but yeah.
you could, but there's nothing wrong with being cutthroat
Because
either.
if
at the end of
you're
the
too
day,
disagreeable, he
do
could
it.
just drop you.
That's true.
Because
yeah.
that'd be a net gain in his pocket.
But I
too.
mean, here's the thing, though. If you have your papers ready and like your ability to move elsewhere ready, then you can use that as leverage. You could say, well, and here's the thing: like, there are other options that I could pursue where I could get
Right.
this, and I know
Exactly.
I'm worth this, and I know I could do that. So I want you
exactly
to know that too.
But the most important part is to have the proof to back you up. You can't just go in there saying it. You actually have to show them the numbers that prove it.
Yeah, yeah.
If all else
but yeah.
fails, you can just blow in.
But I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in. It could go either which way. But if you have proof that you're that much better than them, and you could just use that to get another job, but if it doesn't
Yeah.
quite pan out.
And I think you should have like your resume and everything ready, and
The best time to look for another job is while you currently have a job.
Yeah,
So.
and then that's a good way to bargain
Yeah.
with them. Say like, look, I have other options in which this would be met, but I kind of like being here because it's easier. It's just
Exactly.
a lot harder to
It
switch
shows
jobs.
company
It's a pain.
loyalty.
Yeah,
And then you show them, hey, I see these guys are a problem. I can do better work than them. It'll save you money and show you how you value my work by doing this.
and even if they don't can them, you can still try to vie for a raise too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Based on
obviously,
your
like if you're saying
usefulness.
this,
But it
you're a
sounds
good
like they
employee,
might
and they
be-
should know you're a good employee as well.
But there's a point, though, when you have a coworker who's not only not doing their job to the best they can, but they're kind of like a roadblock to really getting stuff done. So there becomes a point where firing them just seems to be the better thing to do. Like, yes, you get a raise, but if they're still there, it still makes your job more difficult than it should be.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I agree with Cameron's idea that like sometimes you just have to have enough people because let's face it, there's going to be times where you're not going to be there.
I've seen examples of that, especially in the technology space, where a highly skilled worker, they get paid a ton of money because they're worth that much. And some companies, around a certain job level, they tend to want to use less experienced labor because they can pay them a lot less than one experienced person.
Yeah.
So now you have more
Yeah.
people doing who are sharing the workload of someone who's more experienced, but they still got to pay them less.
Yeah, and that works best if you have like a fluctuating workload too, because sometimes it'll be like so much work that you couldn't get it done with one person.
And then it's like, again, it's, yes, you're bringing an example of how you can help better their bottom line, but there are ways for them to improve their bottom line without paying you more as well.
Yeah.
It just depends on if the company values the... But then again, it's teaching new employees the money they have to invest in getting them up to speed and what's going on. That's usually something that they tend to avoid.
Oh, yeah, the training.
But if it's a technology sphere, sometimes people can be brought on fresh out of school who are up to date on what you're doing, and they can pay them less.
Yeah, I would bring up Price's Law too. That would be a good one. It's like almost everything is made by, like 99% of everything that's made is made by 1% of people. It's like any industry that you look at is basically this way. Like music industry, there's billions of people that make music, right? But only like a few of them, like the 1% of every industry. Everything has the 1%. But usually those 1% generate almost all of the content that people actually listen to or use or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say, look, I am the 1% that does 99% of the work, or like a massive portion of the work. Thank
Right.
you. And I should be paid accordingly. Like just say like, look, this is how...
I mean, that makes logical sense, but then again, if they can get away with paying more people less, then
Exactly.
they will.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to do whatever makes them most money
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep in their pocket.
But like I said, Chase, just
not
you
Chase.
can. It's Chase Serralizzani is his name up there.
Person not
But
versus
it's not Chase.
Is his name not Chase?
No,
Never mind.
But it's not Chase versus Game.
it is, but he said to not say that it was him.
Oh.
Yeah. But you didn't hear that, I guess.
No, I could not because my headset is out.
How was it
Sorry,
out?
I went to go buy headphones today. At Walmart.
One of the ear cups is out. Sorry about that. So then, yeah. I don't know. We tend not to cut stuff out so well.
Yeah. Never. Not even this. Not
Dun-dun.
even this.
But anyways, that's what I say. Like I mean, it's easy enough for you to prove that you're doing double the amount that they're doing. It's super easy.
Yeah.
If you have a good relationship with your manager and you bring him the stats, then yeah, go ahead and do that.
And it's a lot easier to ask for something extra.
And then you're in a industry where your skills are highly sought after, so you don't have to have that fear of you confronting him, be a big deterrent, because if it does end up going south, you're going to land on your feet. So
Yeah.
you don't have that much to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right. Let's do one more. here. Let's see what we got.
Hey guys, so I have a question. Maybe I need some actual advice. So I've been married for about 7 years. Been with my wife for 10 years. We have one kid together. She is 5, and she has a son who's 17. And her sex drive is not high functioning. She blames it on her birth control, but she's not 100% sure. But she says it's definitely not me. I don't know. I guess I believe her on that. But she is 38, and I am 33. My advice is if she stops taking her birth control, there's a chance her sex drive will go up, and I'll be getting a lot more sex from her. But we don't want another kid. She definitely doesn't want another one. I do,
The answer
but
is
I'm okay
yes.
with the fact that she doesn't. So my advice is, should I get a vasectomy?
My answer is
And
yes.
so she can stop taking her birth control so I can have a lot more sex. My quality of life will improve. Come to grips that I don't have another kid. I'm not going to have another kid, but if something happens to her, I may want one down the road. But I'm okay
Save your sperm.
if I don't right
Yeah.
now.
Vasectomies can be reversed too.
In that.
So some stuff,
Vasectomies are
just
great.
if you want to let me know if I should get my dick cut up into pieces and disconnected from my balls. See what you guys think about that. I'm
dick
interested in hearing your answer.
So
Saving your sperm and getting a
That-
vasectomy is probably the best.
Either that,
That's
just
gonna
in
be the
case
best
there's
option.
complications, you can save your sperm and get it cut, and then try to reverse it later. If there's complications reversing, at least you have some saved in the
Right.
bank for later.
Right, Michael Scott got his reverse 3 times.
But yeah, the answer is yes. Birth control does some weird shit to women. I wouldn't put it past it lowering her sex drive. But it does a lot of weird stuff too. So her personality might change a little bit off of it too. So just be prepared for that. But yeah,
When it's got to balance, the hormones have to balance themselves back out.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit weird for a little bit, but I would say do that and get the vasectomy 100%.
Yeah, there's also when the no fuck zone is around the time, because
Right.
they've got their little cycle deal, and there's
Yeah.
like a certain amount of time.
just imagine though, like you as a guy having to take, pills every day that changes your hormone levels just constantly. You're never yourself quite yourself.
Your nips are always tender.
But not just that; it changes the way you think and the way you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to see, way back in the day, how they used to try to castrate men, hormonally, chemically. It's not quite the same level, but it's just horrible. So
Yeah, castrating yourself. I mean, you'd lose your testosterone levels, so you're less violent.
Well, you got to talk to
less-
Dr. Eric Cookie about.
But a vasectomy doesn't change your hormone levels.
Yeah.
So,
Where does the jizz go though?
Ash Weiss.
I heard it goes to your heart. That's how you have heart attacks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's what I think too.
That
Clogs
sounds-
your arteries.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
It's like so if you have a vasectomy, you get shot. Like you don't bleed blood, you bleed jizz. It's disgusting.
That's really what cholesterol is.
Yeah, it's just backed up cum, so you don't get to release.
He had an aneurysm, jizz in the brain.
It's a worthwhile thing. I mean, you could just plan it out. It's like just not have sex.
I can't wait till
during,
they
like, a
bring
1 week
in
time.
Right.
until they start mainstreaming some of the male birth control, basically like an on-off switch in your ball sack.
I don't want to get a shot in my sack though. Like,
No,
that
it's
scares
like
me.
they add a device inside your sack. I don't know quite what it does.
messing with my
And
sack.
there's a little on-off switch. You're like, yo, you want to get pregnant or not?
It's like
So
a
how do you
pea-
do it? Do you like click it on? You like
Yeah.
slap
It's
your
like
balls.
a-
You're like.
Should be like a
a
little switch.
It's like a pacemaker for your testicles.
But what if you're like fucking your balls like slapping the back?
I
It's
don't
like-
know.
and it hits that little like?
yeah, it turns it on when
Yeah.
you think it's off.
I imagine it's like
Horseshit.
it's like the switch inside the hog that Felicia sent us. Like you got to like feel around in your nutsack, and there's like a little toggle switch. You're like on, and it's just
Just
Or it's like your dick is now a light switch. As long as it's up, then it's working.
Can you get clap on, clap off?
And then there's no more.
I feel like that would be a bad idea.
There's no more. Fucking like, oh, I forgot my birth control scare type of things, because it's just like, no, this shit is off
The jizz is gone.
until you forget about it for a while.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I think having both of you on it is probably the best idea. Honestly, though, it's not like it's that. It's tough because one of you being on it is pretty much nothing's going to happen. I guess you could switch it to being you. It's a little more severe, though. Obviously,
It is. It definitely is. And so, usually with a procedure like that, if you're pretty much ready to not have kids anymore, then that's the time you make that decision.
I agreed. Definitely, I think definitely talk to your wife about it too.
Yeah.
I think it's something you both should be.
It
talking
doesn't have
about
to be
adults.
like a
No accusatory or anything.
demasculating thing.
Yeah,
It's just,
your dick's still gonna work. Like,
and if potentially she has a higher sex drive when she's off the pill, I mean, like,
hey,
yeah.
it's a decision for you guys to make. I don't see any problem with it. You can save some in the bank later, just in case.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever do it, but I don't know.
Yeah, until you're at that point, you don't know.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Makes facials kind of sad though.
Stuff, semen still comes out, just not sperm.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I didn't think of it that way. I thought it like shut the entire factory down when you did that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, so still drink pineapple juice.
Yes.
You're just not have to worry about getting pregnant. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that's what it did. I thought it was everything.
No.
I thought you just shot blanks. Is what I thought. like when you're 11 and you're masturbating. It's like,
yeah. We got one quick one in the chat. We can answer this one pretty fast. If you need an extra question, would you prefer a life partner that is a classic mermaid, below-waist fish, above-waist woman, or the reverse, below-waist woman, above-waist fish? So you could either never have sex with it.
Well, that's
She's still got a mouth.
That's a a big assumption. Who knows if you can't have sex with a mermaid until you try?
It's true.
Yeah.
A little slit opens up. There's a deleted scene off The Little Mermaid. I don't know how you guys didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, there is the Del Toro movie.
Oh, The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I'm
deaf chick
definitely-
just like opens. Does
Even
this
if you
little opening
can't,
thing.
I definitely do. I definitely go with traditional mermaid.
I would too. I don't
But
want
not
to.
too
I don't want to
traditional.
cuddle with a fish face.
What do you
kidding
mean, not
me?
too
I mean,
traditional?
Not like traditional monster mermaid. Like
He means like Ariel or some shit.
Yeah.
Like traditional.
Well, yeah, that's what they're.
in his
The thing,
context,
yeah.
But not
But here,
like
hear
the
me
like
out,
the
though.
scary ass mermaids.
Hear me out.
If you get the fish face, you got the woman bod.
I thought you wanted like a different bottom.
You-
No,
we have the woman
it's at
bottom,
the
we don't have the
waist.
woman
It's at
top.
the waist.
I know.
It's at the waist.
But so you gotta. She's probably in really good shape. One. Number two. Got a
Blub,
vagina
blub,
there,
motherfucker.
which is great. Number three. You ever seen people catch catfish? They like stick that gunk on their hand and then they stuff it down in the water, and the catfish just like fucking.
Yeah,
Imagine putting some of that like stank gunk on your fucking dick and just having that fish go to town.
Fucking noodle with
Just
you.
fucking like.
yeah. It's noodling Schweiss's
Just
cock.
fucking tearing it up.
I'm not feeling like it tonight.
Like when you put
yeah, gunk it up.
like
Yeah.
that thing of putting peanut butter on your balls for your dog. To
Yeah.
lick up.
Have you ever seen people catfish noodling? It's not
I haven't.
It's not a calm thing.
No,
Yeah, it's insane. They like stick their hand in this like stank, like rotting death thing, and then they stick it in the water, and then the catfish like
No, but you
envelops
just
their
don't
whole
stick
arm,
it.
and
You
they
don't. You don't
fucking
just
pull
stick it in the
out.
water.
You stick it in a hole.
You find little holes in the embankment and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
'cause
you
they
can even
live.
use your leg, and the catfish will fucking swallow your arm up to your elbow,
Yeah, people
and that's how
drown
you use
all
it to
the
pull
time.
them out.
Yeah,
Weird.
It's dangerous. Yeah, people drown all the time, dude. It's great.
yeah,
Yeah, because
it's-
sometimes those things could go back like several feet underneath the bank. But yeah, that's what I'd pick. Traditional
I
mermaid.
would too, man. 'Cause she got titties too, and I'm a boob
Exactly.
guy. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm a tit guy, like through and through, man.
And I just
Grew
can't. I
my
just
own.
can't. I
Like,
just
I
can't.
love 'em,
I
you
just
know?
can't get past the fish eyes. I just can't get past it.
Just the big eye just staring at you.
Like you could never tell how she's feeling.
yeah, you're like going,
You're
you're
just like railing her, and just like the fish eyes, just like.
you're going down, and you can see the fish eyes staring at you, and you're just like, ugh, God,
But like
don't,
fish
don't look at me.
There's a little bit of there's like a little bit of butter like dripping from her eye.
Ah.
It's like if it's like a tear.
Oh, dude, fish got those like little teethies too. Like if you're looking at fish, like I couldn't do that either.
Yeah, it definitely have to be traditional
Yeah, dude.
because
I'm shallow. I'd have to look at her.
yeah.
Glove,
But we should
motherfuckers.
probably answer. we should probably also answer one question out of the Discords so they keep using it.
You got Discord pulled up.
They can do it.
We'll just pull it out. All right,
Whip
so
it out,
there.
baby. Whip it out.
Whoop whoop. Did they make a new chat for it?
No, it's just nude
Fucking-
clan. It's just After Dark. Yeah,
That's right. Yes, maybe.
yeah. After Dark questions right here.
Okay, we got one from Mirodis19. It says, when did you guys first fall in love or something akin to love? I'm almost 30 and I don't think I've ever had that feeling. People keep saying it will just happen, but it never does.
Wow. It's kind of
It's
deep.
deep.
bro.
Yeah, like what the
Feels
fuck,
like
man?
the first time.
Just gotta listen to more Foreigner, and then, you know.
So you just got to stand in the rain.
And saxophone. Saxophone is necessary. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you this right now. If you stare at anything at all, including a person, the whole time while Songbird by Kenny G is playing, you will guarantee fall in love with that thing or person.
That thing.
That person.
Not
Thing
no.
or person.
Not my dragon dildo.
Is this Caleb falling in love with 2D girls, or is he saying women are?
Bro,
What?
animated girls get 3D
What?
too. What?
If you turn the pixels up high enough, the ink smells like pussy.
Well, see, Schweiss is
That
the only
song
one.
has power, though. That's all I'm saying.
I think Schweiss is the one out of the three of us that are married. What would you say?
You think he's the only one?
Well, I mean, like he is the
Think
only one.
Cam's got like a secret family.
I think he does. He does down in like Guyana
Mexico.
or some shit. Like he just got him
Mexico.
down there. Mexico.
In Tijuana.
Is it my half sister that I've never met? I have half siblings that I've never met. I'm just they're there.
You have a niece.
Hell yeah! I'll be
I was
happy
just
be
waiting
related
to let you know.
Did you tell her about us?
Just have to wait for this Ocean's 11 gig to pan out right, and then we can go live down in Mexico.
to the nude clan from Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fucking tinfoil.
Yeah, no.
How do you think? I'm interested to see what you think for sure.
Have you ever had that true love moment, Craig?
Only while Songbird is playing.
What about you?
I don't know because I feel like I thought I did, but then they all turn out to be cunts. So, like,
So there's
not
definitely
really
that
sure.
that honeymoon phase that starts out, and I felt like I had that with a previous relationship, but over time, we just grew apart as people.
And I think
I still care about her, care for her.
Agreed.
But I just said, you know what? I don't think it's going to end well if we
Right.
keep trying. So
you know what, and I think that doesn't diminish any love that was there. That's
Yeah.
just being an adult and growing up. So yeah, I guess I say, well, yeah, I did have had that true love
But,
thing. You just sometimes you just grow up.
But I don't believe that there's only one person you can have that true love feeling with. It's like you can't waste your life looking for the one.
Yeah.
A4 says step 1, play Carly Rae Jepsen. Step 2, chloroform Ray.
Yeah. Step 3, nice.
But to say like you wait for it and it never happens, I don't think it's something that
You
just
can
does happen.
find-
Like
So it's up to you. You can make it work with someone that you're not 100% with if you work at it.
dude, love is a verb, man.
But
Love is a verb. It's an action word. It is, dude.
it's hard to sift between being infatuated, being
Attracted.
lusted, and being
that's
lustful
true.
after someone, and that develops into real feelings. It's just really down to if you'd suck their toes or not.
Yeah,
If you could suck their toes, it's true.
Am I Quentin Tarantino? What the fuck, dude? I hate
Or
feet.
eat their ass. Yeah,
Okay, are you saying
I'm a
without
gentleman.
having a fetish for that?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I hate feet.
Yeah,
I do
okay,
too.
'cause
I
it's-
do too. But there is this like chick that like says she likes like her feet rubbed.
And if
I
you're
would rub her
like,
feet
and if you're like,
100%. I
and
hate
if
'em.
it's beyond like, okay, she wants it, and then I'll do it, and then it's your fucking lust making you do things you normally wouldn't. But it's like, yeah, I'd suck her toes if she asked me to. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
suck
true
her
love.
dick. Nothing wrong with that. Suck her dick.
bro, it's just a big clit. It's just a big clit.
It's just a rather large clit. That's all. It's just a clit that makes you gag.
Whenever
Yeah.
I bring up or someone brings up, the foot fetish thing, it keeps reminding me of your friend who tried to make a move on me back in the day.
What?
And it's another story for another time.
We're gonna talk after this because I'm interested. now.
I don't know. I think Cameron's right. I don't know if. I mean, it's like, you know what? It's like Game of Thrones, man. You just look at Ned Stark.
Why is everything Game of Thrones
Well,
twice?
you just look at Ned Stark's relationship with Catelyn Stark versus Brandon Stark's relationship with Catelyn Stark. Right? Brandon Stark, his older brother, they were super in love with each other. They were like, "Oh man, this person's amazing. This person's great." Like they were so stoked, and they were lustful. Like even though they didn't really get it on, it was like the
but there was like that.
pre-lust.
There was that. It's
there
gonna
was-
happen. It's gonna be rad.
Yeah, there was that emotional thing. They were super into it, and then he dies, and then his brother
And
comes
then Ned
along.
gets the sloppy seconds.
Yeah, and then they're like,
But
well,
was it though?
And then they were like, we didn't really have the connection in the beginning. It wasn't very strong, but they built it slowly over time.
Right, because by the end of the book, she fucking loves
just,
him. Like, I
that
know,
just
like, her
goes
thing,
to
she loves
explain
it.
that, in their case, like, you can work on something.
Yeah,
But it
there's-
was more or less they were forced into a marriage because of, that's
Yeah,
how
but like
things were back
they
then.
chose to build it over
But
time.
I'm not saying
as opposed to-
I'm not saying trying to force it to work with someone that you don't agree with right at the beginning.
No, yeah,
but,
there has
but
to
that's
be.
just an example of like if you associate with someone enough, you could make something.
Yeah,
out
I
of
think
it.
you have to have the same core values.
Yeah.
and then beyond that, you can work to overcome almost anything.
That's actually something that's very funny you say that because I've been playing Fire Emblem lately, 3 houses, and that's one of the talks too my characters had. Were like, oh, it's like it's a little brother, but I mean, marriage doesn't sound so bad. It's like, oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can. I think that makes it a stronger bond too, because it's not just based on lust and attraction, because that eventually goes away. Because you're going to get old and you're going to be ugly.
Yeah, lust is like a passionate and like intense, hot feeling, but love can be a more gentle, pervasive thing. Where
I want to
you're
choke
thinking
you,
about that.
but not to death.
Yeah. It's
But it's just a group of guys just talking about bullshit.
Dudes
talking
being
about
dudes.
love. Fucking gay.
Well, you made me feel things today I wasn't planning on feeling. So
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer to that question really is. And I mean, I think if you're practical enough, I don't know if you'll ever really have that.
And then everyone's different. There are people who have had that love at first sight and just passionate love and just go from there. And there's other people who are just not that same way, and it's just a more gentle, growing feeling
Right.
rather than a hot passion.
and
one.
it's definitely
So
like
everyone's different. So you just need to find someone who works with you.
I think as well, like with him, like you were saying that other people say like, "Oh, this is how it's supposed to happen." You can't gauge yourself, but what other people are feeling either. I mean, it's you.
Yeah.
You're different. You don't know. I mean, I don't know you. I don't know how you feel. I can't tell you one way or another. So like, just go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just want
And
to
don't put pressure on yourself to find someone. I mean, if you're feeling that way, it's about time. Then start dating and being a part of that life. But never feel like you're gonna miss some moment, because if you force it before you're ready for it, then it's just not gonna be happy in the end. So
I want you to try that songbird thing and let me know how it goes.
Just have him hanging by a moment, bro.
Yeah.
Just Lifehouse that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Lifehouse would probably work too, but Kenny G, I feel, is more potent.
I guess.
Dude, have you listened to Kenny G?
Yes.
Okay, then you know.
I just okay.
Songbird, man.
all right, those are all the questions.
What would you suggest? Like the fucking Coco song?
Yeah. Fuck you, bro. Yeah. Because I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Fucking damn right. I think. No.
No, obviously you'd pick Shakira.
Oh, her hips do not lie.
They really
That-
don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm more of a world
feeling-
painted blood.
You're what?
More of a world painted blood.
Yeah.
Is that a love song?
I mean, depends on the
Can
way you
be.
look at it.
If you turn it into a slow jazz, you can probably pull it off. The Richard Cheese
throw some Kenny
version.
G in there too. Oh, that's perfect.
I mean, you could also do playing with dolls if you're that way.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you play with dolls? Blow up dolls? Did I ever tell you about my business idea I had?
No,
I wanted to open it in Vegas. I wanted to call it Build a Bitch Workshop, and it was like
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a go and buy
Sex
like
doll.
yeah, and you build your own and get like celebrities to endorse like models of their vaginas and stuff. And it's like, oh, I want a Britney Spears
dude,
puss, but I want Pamela Anderson's
do
tits.
co-op with
You're gonna
Goop.
you're
Do
gonna
a co-op with
Get
Gwyneth
candles.
Paltrow.
Yeah. Oh man, find someone that's like real used,
partner with Fleshlight.
real used material, and you're like, man, I think somebody left a pile of Arby's sandwiches over there. Oh my god, never mind. That's
We have extra leather.
Jennifer Aniston. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Oh, it's terrible.
oof.
I actually really like.
If you get the leather,
Jennifer
though, it
Aniston.
could be Dolly Parton. So I mean, it's whatever
Yeah,
you want.
yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I'm
It's
saying?
just a strip of leather chew, like fruit chew.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to sponsor me, that is my idea. Build a Bitch Workshop. We fuck with you. So
Oh, that's an episode of Interspecies Reviewers. Nice. I don't even know what that is, but I feel like I have had many
Nice.
great ideas over the course of my life that have been stolen from me. Like the
Hurts
one
my
where
soul.
you put like you sew. My idea was like to sew as a little kid a soap bar in between two washcloths, and then like a year later, I saw that was advertised on TV, and I was like, "Fuck, fuck, that's such a good idea." Because
It
then you
is.
just like, and then you got soap, and then when you're done, you just fucking hang it up, and then someone else came out with it. I'm like,
kinda-
man. They got cameras, they got mics in everyone's homes. They're just listening in. It's part of the builders.
I'm really pissed off that
conspiracy.
Interspecies Reviewers stole my idea from when I was in 10th grade. That really fucking makes me mad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, did we want to answer any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Thank you guys for the questions. Please keep posting them in the fashion you see fit, but we're more likely to answer your question if you call us, because that's our preferred method, and we want to hear your voice.
Yeah, least likely email, most likely voice.
But we should also go back and bleep out his name.
Maybe.
We should,
Maybe.
because we don't want to deter him from leaving voicemails in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that may have been a joke, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I know.
so
I couldn't hear it. So
Alas, you're deaf.
we will see you guys next time. 385-204-3921. That is the phone number. Call us. Leave us your questions. We will give you answers next time. See you guys then.
Mankind has always been the poison.
Give up on yourselves. Give up on the world.
Every puzzle has an answer. Dumbass. Kick logic out and do the impossible. Remember that.
I'm glad I met you guys. You made me pick apart things I probably would have just gone on ignored.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in a Kamina who believes in you. Everybody deals with grief differently, right? Some people fuck at funerals. I cut off heads.